Hello and welcome. My name is Christoph Putz and I'm your IT career guide. In today's video I want to talk about the not so typical day in the life of a system administrator. In a previous video I showed you already what a typical day in the life of a systems administrator looks like, and that day was really describing the routine, a normal day in the life of a systems administrator. In today's video I want to step a little bit out of the comfort zone and tell you what a non-so-typical day of a systems administrator look like and how it impacts your life, your personal life. That's just one thing to really be aware of when you work in information technology. Not every day is the same, especially if you work in a supportive role like a systems administrator, where if there is an outage of some sort happening or another type of problem coming up, that it throws your entire routine out the window and that you then have to leave your comfort zone behind and really start troubleshooting a major issue. And that could be impacting just a few people, it could be impacting the entire company. And the pressure and the stress that builds up in this situation is just something you almost never get used to. But you can thrive on that energy and then hopefully deliver better results. Before we get into this video, if you don't mind hitting the subscribe button in case you have not subscribed to my channel. Also, if you hit the like button for the video, it will make this video more visible for other people on YouTube. So let's take a look into the not so typical day of a systems administrator. So we'll start the day at around 7:30. You arrive at the office, you walk up to your desk, you put your jacket, your bag, everything in there, you hook up your laptop and you log into the system. Then you go and grab coffee and really just try to settle in and to go through those emails that have accumulated overnight. There could be 30, 40, 50, 60, 100 emails. Hopefully most of those are automated system messages just telling you system status. Hopefully everything is just positive and the status is good. But sometimes with these messages you can tell there is a problem and then you have to investigate. 7:37 a.m. your manager walks up and starts chatting up the day for you. So the manager keeps you occupied while your coffee is getting cold and you would like to dive into your inbox and Outlook while your manager just keeps talking. He or she had an exciting evening last night and is just desperate to share that information. So you're not fully awake yet, you have somebody talking to you and you're really just trying to get into the work mode. And sometimes this just happens. Somebody walks up to you and starts talking because they have something important to share. And that will already set you back a little bit. So instead of drinking your coffee and reading emails and potentially responding or archiving them, now you're sitting there and you have to talk to that other person. And sometimes you just try to listen and then find your way out of that discussion, but it's not always possible. So just be aware this can happen and it can impact how your day starts. So 7:53, your manager is finally moving on to find another victim for that exciting story from last night. Your coffee is getting cold and in 7 minutes you have a meeting that you need to be at. So you get another cup of coffee, you settle in for your meeting. It's an online meeting in this case, and you know there's a lot of activity potentially asking for your attention during this meeting, not necessarily work. So you know exactly from 8 to 9 o'clock you're busy in this meeting and you cannot look at email, you cannot work on anything. It's really just being there, being present in this meeting. 9 a.m. you survived the meeting, it's time for a quick bio break and then also walking into the kitchen to get another cup of coffee or maybe a soda from the vending machine in the hallway. On your way back you meet somebody else in the hallway and you have a quick chat. So it takes a total of like 10-12 minutes before you're back at your desk and now you're trying to get into work mode looking at emails. But before you get too much into your email, a reminder is popping up. You have an important project meeting at 1 o'clock today and you have certain homework to do. So there's a deliverable that you have been asked from the previous project meeting and that is something you have to work on. So you work on the deliverables for that project meeting. By the time you look up it's already 10:30, your vision is a little blurry, you just need a quick break. So you go and walk into the break room to just refill your water, stretch a little bit and then come back to your desk because you still have some additional work to do. So it takes another 45 minutes before you have the task completed for that project meeting. You start drafting an email to the project manager, you put everything into that email that you have worked on so that the project manager can update the timeline and everything, the notes for the meeting at 1 o'clock, and then hopefully that gets you back into your daily routine. It's not just looking at emails anymore. There's more stuff. You have to look at log files, you have to do some system maintenance, so it's just all piled piling up and you're really just trying to get ahead of that work. But by now, the way how the day has started, you're already running a little bit behind, plus the project work was most likely not helpful. At 11:45, a coworker walks up and asks you if you want to join him for lunch. And while you had a busy morning and too many meetings and too many emails and the work, you decide to take a lunch, and the two of you step out of the building, you drive to a restaurant, you have a quick lunch. It takes about 45-50 minutes. So at 12:37 you get back to the office, and you know in 23 minutes you have that project meeting. So you just prepare yourself, you grab water, you grab another soda from the vending machine down the hallway, you use a few additional minutes to work on emails and to do some system maintenance, and at 12:58 you walk up into the meeting room, meet your co-workers there, and then it's a busy meeting until 2 o'clock. In that meeting again, you have to talk about what you worked on, that everything is good to go. You guys discuss whatever the next step in this project is, and really what tasks need to be assigned potentially to you. But until the next project meeting or whatever timeline has been attached to those tasks, you have to start thinking about it and planning it out. So it's 2 o'clock, you get out of the meeting, you get back to your desk, you just take a few notes and just start mapping out what your work will look like regarding that project. It's really just high level. Brenda from HR walks by and you have a friendly chat with her. You walk a few steps with her because you want to refill your water bottle, and then at around 2:20 you're back at your desk and you start plowing through emails, and you're making really good progress with your day-to-day work. 2:47 p.m. Your phone is going ballistic, your inbox is filling up, and you're hearing voices over the cubicle walls. Something is up. You check your phone, you check your email messages, and one of the major systems for the company is apparently down. So users are not able to work. The help desk is getting calls and they're logging incidents. After a few minutes, it becomes apparent this is not an isolated case. It's not just a single user. This is a larger issue. You start looking at the email messages and the alerts to see if there's a hint of what's going on. Over the cubicle wall, you talk to your peers on the other side of the cubicle wall, and you all start troubleshooting. You get into this high quick response mode, just trying to identify, okay, what's going on? Is the network down? Has the server crashed? Or what else could be the issue that this major software application is down? 10-15 minutes later, it's really becoming clear this is a major issue. Your manager is walking up asking for more information. And based on the information that the manager has, he declares a major incident. A major incident is when not just a few things are down or a small number of people is impacted. It's when you have a larger situation, a larger problem that is impacting a large group of people or a large number of systems or the entire company. With that major incident process, there's a certain number of steps that need to be executed. So there's communication. The help desk potentially needs to do a recording so then people call in that they get the automated message. If you are calling about having problems with XYZ application, please note that we are aware of the situation, blah, blah, blah. So you get the idea. So it's really preparing everyone that we have a major outage, we're working on it, and then the manager or whoever is assigned the task to communicate will be the focus point. So nobody will walk up to your desk and bother you about the problem. They want you to work on the problem, to troubleshoot, to be able to focus. So you and your peers, you start working on the problem, you are starting to troubleshoot, you're trying to identify really what happened, what's going on, and why is the application not coming back up. By now it's 3:37 p.m. Finally, you guys at least identified what the issue is. So the troubleshooting has identified the issue, but there's not necessarily a fix available yet. So you just know really what happened. That will help you to then collect more information to potentially talk to the vendor of the application and find a way to get this situation resolved. Or there are certain things that need to be done. Maybe you need to spin up a parallel system or fail over a cluster. Or maybe a network switch is down and needs to be replaced or rerouted and you don't have redundancy. So there are certain things that now are identified that need to be done. But until that issue has been resolved, there's more time that is going down. Earlier today you had planned to go mountain biking with a friend after work, and now you realize it's 3:53. There's no way you're able to leave work at 4:15 and be mountain biking by 5 o'clock. So you text a message to your friend and just tell him, hey, I will be about 45-60 minutes late. I'm not sure if I can go mountain biking today. Let me know what you think. You continue working with your peers and you slowly start your way through the problem. Your manager walks up again asking for an update. You provide an update to the manager, and the manager then works with the internal communications to make sure everyone, all the stakeholders, knows what's going on and what the expected downtime is, and until this problem is resolved. So by now it's 4:45, the afternoon is going by quickly. Most of your normal work you have barely been able to touch. You guys are still troubleshooting, you're seeing progress, and now you can potentially say, okay, around 5:45, so an hour from now, we should be able to have the system back up and running. That again gets relayed to the help desk and to the stakeholders. Internal communications go out. People that are waiting for this application to come up and that can then determine, yeah, this needs to wait till tomorrow, so they work on something else, or they have to go home, pick up children from school or from the daycare, whatever it is. It's easier for those people then to determine what their next step is. That's why communication in a major incident is so critical. So it is now 5:56. The system is up and running for a few minutes. You verify with everyone, hey, is the system working for you? And you get the feedback, yes, the system is up and running. Everything seems to be stable. The help desk gets notified to remove the recorded message, and they switch back to their normal recording when somebody calls the help desk. Everything is now calming down. You are able to just take a deep breath, relax for a moment, let the stress peel off, and then really just sit down and back and take a look and, okay, this is what happened, this is what we did to identify the problem, and you just do a quick recap. This is not a full-blown post-mortem type of situation. That will be on the following day. But you want to at least collect your thoughts and really have written down briefly what happened. There are still some discussions going on, what could be done different, or is there still something that you guys need to do before you guys can go home. So the time goes by and it's around 6:35. By the time you're finally done, you are able to shut down your laptop, put it into your backpack, and then grab your jacket and head out. So if you think about it, you arrived at work at 7:30, you're leaving the office close to 7 o'clock in the evening. So you clocked almost 11 hours of work, maybe even a little more, depending on really when you started and how the day went. But this is an example of a real case scenario that can happen to you as a systems administrator. There's not just really that you can go home at 4 o'clock because you work your 8 hours. No, you have to be there and you have to work through the situation. The company, the other employees, they depend on you and your peers to deliver the solution and to really help the company to get back up and running again. Every time a major system is down, it's costing the company money in one way or the other. So for you, that really means you have to drop everything and you have to work through this problem. And ideally, you want to stay as calm as possible, even though it is a stressful situation. I have been in these situations plenty of times. It's never fun. You get used to it over time and you have a certain routine that builds up over time so that you work through those problems and deliver the solution. You don't necessarily know the problem in advance because each situation is most likely different, but you have to have certain steps of troubleshooting so that you can identify the problem and then work on that solution. So I hope that gives you an idea of a not so typical day in the life of a systems administrator. Rest assured, it will happen if you work as a systems administrator. It's not a question if, it's a question of when. So I hope you liked this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. If you have not subscribed to my channel, please do so as well. And then I hope to see you in my next video. Thank you for watching and have a great day. Bye-bye.